everyone, today I'm here with another book haul. This month I'm a little bit early with the book haul, which is very unlike me, but that's because I do think after these 10 I'm not going to get any more books in August. And also I don't know when I'm going to have the time to edit this video, because now I also have a job, which is exciting. Now I'm admin assistant in a telecommunications company. So I got an office job, which is exactly what I wanted. I'm happy about it. I've got a commute, which is about 35 minutes, which I'm again really happy about it. So yeah, I'm happy. It's good. It's all good. I do have 10 books though. 5 of those I did by myself. One of them was Mr. B's Emporium. Yeah, Mr. B's Emporium subscription. And the other 5 were from Boxer Stories. I will leave them till the second half of the video, so I'm going to start with the books that I got myself. So the first book that I got, I've actually already read it as well, and that is The Smallest Man by Frances Quinn. This one is a historical fiction. It is set in 1625. So it follows historical events, I think, real historical events. I don't really know a lot about English history, unfortunately, so to me that was completely new, but that's not a wrap-up anyway, so I'm going to be talking about this in my wrap-up more. But this book, yeah, it follows historical events that happened at the time, but our main character is Ned, who is a dwarf, and he serves to the Queen, essentially. It sounds kind of not exciting, but this book, I really enjoyed this book quite a bit, so I do think it's a really good one. But it's not a wrap-up, so I'm not going to be talking too much into detail about this one. I have started doing this thing when I go to Sainsbury's and buy a book on a whim, so that anything that tickles my fancy, I buy it and start reading it on the same day. So that's what I did with this book as well, I think, and I started listening to the audiobook. That's what I did, by the way. I listened to the audiobook whilst physically reading the book as well, which I do enjoy that experience, and I do that now on occasion anyway, so I do enjoy doing that. So there was one of those, and then on that same day I also saw The Comfort Book by Matt Haig in there, which I am currently reading. This one I'm just over halfway through, and I think this book came to me at the right time because I was feeling really like down emotionally about things. So when I found this one, I didn't really have any intention of reading this book, to be honest with you, because it just never really interested me, I guess. But this is a non-fiction. It's like a compilation of different quotes and different kind of like stories, but not exactly stories. So basically Matt Haig is the author of quite a few books, and he was clinically depressed, I think, for a long time. It was really quite bad for him, so he got out of that, and he's obviously got a lot of experience dealing with that sort of thing. Reflections on hope, survival, and the messy miracle of being alive. I found this book, found me at a perfect time, like I said, but again, it's not a wrap-up. I will be talking more about it in my wrap-up, but this is just a good one so far. So yeah, non-fiction book by Matt Haig. I did read, I think, a couple of Matt Haig's books, and I enjoyed them, so in the future I might give more of his books a go as well. So there we go. I am interested in The Midnight Library as well, but I've heard it's quite depressing and quite sad, and I feel like I need to be prepared emotionally, mentally to read that one, so I'm not sure when or if I'm going to be reading that one at some point. Next 2 books I got from a charity shop, because sometimes, again, on occasion, I do go to charity shops just to find anything interesting. So the first one that I got was Warhorse by Michael Morpurgo. If you've watched my book haul a few months ago when I got a box set of Michael Morpurgo books, there was a sequel to this one, and Warhorse wasn't actually in the box set, so now I've got the first book to that, so I can now read that one. No, well, obviously first I'm going to read that one and then read the sequel. I really don't know what this one is about. It just doesn't really say much on the back. All I know is just set in the period of World War II. A powerful story of the truest of friendships in the worst of wars, from the award-winning former children's laureate Michael Morpurgo. So yeah, now I got it for £2 as well. Another one is The Reading Promise by Alice Ozma. This one, I have a feeling, is kind of like a memoir, because I believe, I don't know who the author is, but it just sounds like it's a memoir. This is not a book about books. This is a book about people. This is a book about the love between a father and a daughter, and of bonds that last a lifetime. It is a book about the 3,218 nights that Alice and her father spent reading, and the quilt of their lives woven together by the books they shared. It is a memory of the words on the pages and a tribute to the one who read them. For reading with someone is an act of love, and this is, above all else, a love story. It sounds so sweet. I'm really excited. I don't know whether it actually is a memoir or it's a fiction story. I'm really confused by that, but I guess I'll find out more when I actually get to this one. I kind of like the cover as well. It's really like pretty, and I enjoy books about books, even though this says it is not a book about books. It kind of is though. So yeah, excited for this one. The next book, as you are probably aware, I am subscribed to Mr. B's Emporium subscription box, which is a subscription in which you subscribe to, I think you get them 3 or 6 months. So the one that I subscribed to was for 3 months. It's quite expensive this time though. It's like £50 for 3 months, which I might not subscribe to them after my next month, which will be my last one. But I've had a few books from them, and so in the month of August they sent me Heap House, Ironmonger #1 by Edward Carey. I think it's a children's book, as you can probably tell from the cover. I have no idea what this one is about. Even having read the blurb, I'm still not quite sure. So in this video there's going to be a lot of me reading the blurbs to you. I hope you don't mind that. So let's read what this one is about. Claude Ironmonger is not supposed to, but he hears a brass door handle saying Alice Higgs, and his birth object, a universal bath plug, constantly calls out James Henry Hayward. The rest of the Ironmonger family would rather the objects collected from the rubbish heaps of London stayed quiet, but something is happening. The objects piled up inside and around Heap House over generations are not staying in their place. With the arrival of Lucy Pennant, everything shifts, and Claude will have to decide where he belongs. It sounds bizarre, but I do think I'm gonna enjoy it. It just sounds like the kind of book I will hopefully enjoy, and it's got illustrations throughout the book as well, which is really nice. So yeah, we'll see what I think of this one. So like I said, the next 5 are from Box of Stories. I just got them today, so I just literally opened the box about 20 minutes ago. Haven't even read what the books are all about, so I'm going to be reading them to you and kind of reacting in real life, if that makes any sense, because I have no idea what they're all about. So yeah, like I said, Box of Stories is a subscription box in which you can subscribe. I think you can get books once a month or once in 2 months. My subscription is once in 4 months, and I kind of forgot that it was supposed to come in August, which was a nice surprise. And so it's 4 books every time you get a box, but I think every 3rd box they do some kind of surprise, and so this time it was a 5th book. So now I've got 5 books. I think I paid like £19 something for it. I could be wrong, not exactly sure. But the idea of them, like I said before, is that they pick up the books that weren't particularly popular. They're not exactly new published books, but they look at different reviews and choose books that are supposedly really good but just didn't get enough appreciation in the past or in the present or whatever. So by the way, I'm not sponsored, I'm just explaining you the idea behind that box. They don't give you any goodies with that, it's just the book box, which is actually quite refreshing sometimes, I think, to get just the books. So yeah, I've got a nice little stack here, so let's get through them. Like I said, I have no idea what they're all about. I just know the titles and that's it, so I'm going to be reading the blurbs to you whilst reacting to them in real life. By the way, I haven't heard of any of those books that I've just got today, so that's exciting. I think it's always good to get the books that I've never heard of before and I wouldn't have picked them up necessarily by myself, so that's nice and again kind of refreshing to never seen them before and just suddenly have them on my TBR. So the first one out of them is The Human Son by Adrian J. Walker. There's a little DNA sign on it, which I'm assuming is going to be a sci-fi. So let's read what this one is about. 500 years in the future, Earth is a paradise without us. Ooh. The Earth was dying and only the Urta could save it. Created to be genetically superior, hyper-intelligent, and unburdened by the full range of human emotions, they succeeded by removing the cause, humans. Now the Urta are faced with a dilemma. If they reintroduce the rebellious and violent Homo sapiens, all of their work could be undone. They decide to raise one child, a sole human, to decide if we should again inherit the Earth. Ooh. But the quiet and clinical Ima finds that there is more to raising a human than she had expected, and there is more to humanity's history than she has been told. Wow! That actually sounds really good to me. I'm really excited for it. It sounds... wow. I don't know whether it's going to be from a child's perspective. I don't think it is, but sometimes I enjoy books that are set from like a child's perspective or about a child. There's just something charming about it. So I don't know how that's going to go. It just sounds really intriguing to me. The different race that inherits Earth just sounds really good to me. I'm really excited for this one actually. I'd like to get to this one sooner rather than later. And this one was published in 2020 actually. How convenient. Next one is Steel Frame by Andrew Skinner. Again, that looks like a sci-fi book. It is a sci-fi. So, Fly Hard. Rook is a jockey, a soldier trained to fly shells, huge robots that fight for the edge of settled space. When her squad is overrun and killed, Rook is imprisoned, left scarred and broken. Hollow and helpless without her steel frame, she's ready to call it quits. Then she's sold to Nor Cole, a vast frontier corporation, given another shell, a near decrepit Juno, as broken as she is and centuries older, and sent to a rusting bucket of a ship to patrol the eye, and a nerving permanent storm in space, where something is stirring. Ooh, well that sounds intriguing about the storm in space where something is stirring. That sounds really fascinating to me. I do enjoy books set in space. I don't think I enjoy, well I haven't read too many, but it's just something fascinating about books that are set in space, and then there's a storm. It just sounds interesting. So I would like to read this one as well. Don't quite know when, but we'll see. And this one was published in 2019 actually. So yeah, excited for this one. We'll see how it goes whenever I get to it. Then we've got another sci-fi by the looks of it. I do think it might be something to do with the fact that last time I got a box, I got 3 fantasy books and 1 sci-fi. So in the feedback I sent them, I said I wish there were more sci-fi. So this time I got 4. I think it's 4 out of 5. Could be wrong, we'll find out by the covers. So we've got Skyfarer, The Drifting Lands, Book 1 by Joseph Brassey. This is like such a proper traditional sci-fi cover as well, don't you think? Not that I'm against it. I shouldn't judge books by their covers. I know that. So let's read what this one is about. The Axiom Diamond is a mythical relic with the power to show its bearer any truth they desire. Men have sought for it across many continents for centuries, but in vain. When trainee sorceress Amy De Laurent's first ever portal casting goes awry, she and her mentor are thrown into the race to find the gem, travelling on the sky ship Elysium. Opposing them are the infamous magic-wielding knights of the Eternal Order and their ruthless commander, Lord Azrael, who will destroy everything in his path to grab that relic. Wow, that actually sounds intriguing. It seems like it's a sci-fi fantasy, this one, which is a combination of genres. I've not read many of those, I think, but I'm never against introducing myself to a new genre, something that I've not read before. Well, it says fantasy. It says it's a fantasy, but to me it also sounds a bit like sci-fi-ish. I don't know. I'll find out when I get to this one. And this one was published in 2017. Next one is Shadowblade by Anna Kashina, which actually sounds a bit like a Russian name to me. Let me see. Oh yeah, the author is Russian by origin, but she lives in the United States. So this one looks like a fantasy book to me. Let's see what this one's about. Author of the award-winning Magic Code series brings you Shadowblade, an epic romantic fantasy about a young sword prodigy who must impersonate a lost princess and throw her life into a deadly political game. Naya dreams of becoming a JR Blade Master, but after assaulting a teacher, her future seems ruined. The timely intervention of a powerful stranger suddenly elevates her into elite training of the upper grounds. She has no idea that the stranger is Dal Gasson, head of the Dalgier Circle. 17 years ago, he witnessed the massacre of Chalamer's court and rescued its sole survivor, a baby girl. And Gasson plans to thrust a blade into the machinations of imperial succession. Naya, disguised as the legendary Princess Xarimet of Chalima, what's with the names? Naya must challenge the imperial family and win. Losing means certain death, but in victory she would forsake everything she holds dear, even the man she loves. The cinematic martial arts combined with political games and forbidden romance makes this book a perfect crossover novel for all readers. I'm more confused than I was before I read the blurb. We'll see what I think of this one. This doesn't immediately call to me, especially romantic fantasy. I know it's really popular lately on BookTube, at least from the booktubers that I've been watching. But I don't know, I'm not against it, but it just doesn't immediately call to me. I obviously will give it a shot and see what I think for myself whenever I get to it. But I think it won't happen anytime soon, to be honest, because unless my TBR throws it at me or something like that, or I just suddenly fancy reading this one, we'll have to see. Anyway, I'm not against it. It still probably is interesting. I'm just going to give it a go whenever I get to it. That's it. And the very last book is actually a hardback, which is really lovely of them. So it is, so I think the value of the box is amazing, because this hardcover was $14.99, and considering I paid 19 something for this box, pretty good value, I think. So the last book is Every Sky a Grave by J. Posey. I kind of like the cover. To me, the cover screams sci-fi, but I could be wrong. Her word is her weapon. Mankind has spread out and conquered the galaxy by mastering the fundamental language of the universe. With the right training, the right application of words, truth itself can be rearranged. Language is literally power. Peace reigns now, order reigns. For if a planet deviates too far from what the authorities plan, an agent is sent out to correct that, to quietly and with great skill end that world. One such agent is Elith, a true believer, but on a clandestine mission to stop an uprising before it can truly begin, Elith comes to realize she hasn't been told the whole truth herself. There's so much she doesn't know. How can there be people whose truth is different to that of the authorities? Elith's faith in the powers that be is shaken just when she needs it most. While on her mission, a dark and unknown presence makes itself known at the edges of the galaxy, and it cannot be controlled, for nobody knows its name. Oh, wow. I must say I'm quite intrigued by this one. Well impressed with that one. So this one was published in 2020. Nothing really under here. But this one actually sounds pretty good. I'm really kind of impressed with this box as well. Got all a page all of a sudden. But yeah, so this was the box of stories. I mean, also everybody I think gets different books. So if you were subscribed to sci-fi and fantasy, you might not get these ones this month or something. I don't quite know how it works. I just know that you won't be getting the same books twice, which is a good thing, obviously. But I do think that different people get different books. Don't know how it works, but out of these 5, I'm quite excited about 3 of them. I'm very excited for this one, definitely. Definitely excited for The Human Sun. This might be the one that I'm most excited for, because it does sound really good to me. This one I'm excited, but not so much. This one, hang on. No, sorry, this one This one sounds good too. This one I'm not as excited, but it could be interesting. I don't know, this one is, I'm also excited. Anyway, I'm excited for all of them. I think I just got a little bit confused now. But anyway, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've read any of the books that I've mentioned, please let me know what you thought of them. If you like this video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!